locomotive today is the Southern Railway 4501, built in 1911 by the Baldwin Locomotive Works in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was built for the Southern Railway as a mainline freight locomotive. It was retired by the Southern Railway in 1948. At that time, it was sold to the Kentucky and Tennessee Railway, where it was used to haul coal from the mines in Stern, Kentucky. After it was retired by the Kentucky and Tennessee Railway, it was then purchased by one of our co-founders here at the museum, Paul Merriman, for $5,000 of his own cash, and then he brought it to Chattanooga in the early 1960s under its own power. And it has been operating on and off here at the museum and on mainline excursions ever since. Now, this locomotive is a 282 Mikado, meaning it has 2 small pilot wheels in the front, 8 large drive wheels in the middle, and a set of 2 trailing wheels under the cabin firebox. Locomotives with this roll arrangement were called Mikados because the first ever of its type was sold to a railway in Japan. So they gave it the Japanese term for emperor, the Mikado. Now, this was the first 282 ever purchased by the Southern Railway out of hundreds they would eventually purchase, and ironically enough, it is the only Southern Railway 282 that survives today. Now, this locomotive operates at 205 PSI. It has 63-inch diameter driving wheels and produces 53,900 pounds of tractive effort. Now, as you can see, while the wheelbase of this locomotive fits in the turntable, the locomotive itself is longer than the turntable. So that means if you're at that yellow line, I do have to get you to take an extra few steps back so the front coupler does not come and give you a slap on the way around. Now, if you look up there in the cab, you'll see our engineer, Frank. He is responsible for operating this locomotive and getting us through safely today. So go ahead and give him a wave. Now, the way this locomotive works is up in the cab, our fireman John is feeding coal into the firebox where it is burning. Now, on the front side of the firebox, there are a series of tubes that run the length of the boiler called the flues. There are hundreds of them. The hot gases from the fire travel through those flues and then up and out the stack. Now, surrounding the flues in the firebox is water. That water is heated by the hot gases until it goes to steam. Raising the boiler pressure up to 205 psi. When Frank opens that throttle, that steam is channeled down to these large cylinders here that are on either side of the engine. Inside these cylinders is a very large piston the steam is pushing on either side of. Those pistons are connected to the rods you see on the side of the engine, and those rods are connected to the driving wheels. So as that piston is being moved in and out, it is rotating those rods, therefore turning the driving wheels and propelling the locomotive. Now, once that steam has been used, it mixes with the hot gases in the smoke box here at the front of the locomotive and then shoots up and out the stack. And that exhausting steam creates a vacuum in that smoke box that creates the chucking sound you hear when you see a steam locomotive. Now, to line the stable up at the correct track today, we still have to use the original method, and that would be the antique method of eyesight. Also, if you have a look up in the cab again, you will see our fireman, John. He is responsible for feeding that fire and maintaining the water level in the boiler to produce the steam this engine operates on. Without him, this locomotive would not be going anywhere, so give him a wave as well. Now, this locomotive is also a famous locomotive. Most of you have probably seen it before and don't even realize it. To start with, this locomotive is one of the few locomotives that started the steam preservation movement. Had this one not been saved and started the desire to save these locomotives, many of the others we still have with us today would have ended up being scrapped. Now, this locomotive has been used in many Hollywood films and music videos, including many music videos by Johnny Cash, and movies such as Full Trade with Jimmy Stewart, one of the two, Leatherhead with George Clooney, and the most famous being October Sky with Jake Gyllenhaal. Now, for those of you that have seen that movie, you may recall a scene where the kids in the movie are